Hello! I'm super late on this month's vlog, the one for September. I'm going to be very honest. The month of September was a very, very hard month for me, which I think is why I've been putting this off for publishing this for so long. And also I have no obligation to do it, obviously, but it's just a little those vlogs are a little challenge that I gave myself at the beginning of the year, so I didn't want to skip one. So it's a lot shorter than the other ones, which might be a good thing because the other ones were way too long. But yeah, to be completely honest, since I left my job, I've had quite a lot of health issues. Obviously the month before that with my knee, and that was still going on in September, where I had crutches and knee pain most of the month. And just overall, my mood was not very, and my mental health was not very good, and it was made worse because mid-month I realized that I was pregnant, which was not desired and happened, by mistake. I'm not going to go into that. So I made the painful decision to, sorry, I'm gonna try not to cry. I made the painful, mind you, I'm recording this in November, so I am still in, it's the very beginning of November, I think it's the 5th or something, but I'm still not fully, I haven't processed it properly, and I still am very hormonal. So I made the painful decision to terminate the pregnancy. Not everyone in my life is aware of it, so I'm sorry if that's how you're finding out. I was debating whether or not to talk about it online, even though very few people are watching this, but I think it's important because it helped me a lot when it happened to me to have people in my life tell me oh, well, it happened to me too a couple of years ago, or it happened in my 20s, or I have a friend who went through it, do you want to talk to her? Or I have a colleague who went through it, do you want to talk to her? Because I felt really alone. And I also felt very guilty because even though I know I wasn't doing anything wrong, and obviously it's illegal, and I know I'm not killing a child, it was, the very beginning, and it was just cells, and it's much better to terminate a pregnancy if you feel like you're not ready for it than to have a child that you don't want. You still have a huge part of guilt that comes because it just feels like you're doing something wrong even though you're not. And I've had a lot of support from Cam. He's been really amazing, and from my brother, who I love dearly and has called me every day in September to check on me, which meant, and several times a day actually, which meant a lot to me because he's neurodivergent and on the spectrum, and so I know these kind of things are not necessarily easy for him. And we don't speak regularly because that's just not necessarily his way of doing things. So I know he made a really big effort, and that made me feel so much better and so supported. But yeah, it was still a very difficult experience. Sorry, I'm gonna go blow my nose. So while I had a lot of support, and I had my friend Lauren, who was here, and you will see in the vlog, she was in London for a couple of days, and that was just a couple of days after I found out, so that was really helpful. And she's great, and if she's watching this, I love you so much. And my friend Jess, my friend Julia, a couple of my friends, I didn't tell when it happened because I only told the people that I saw in person at that point, because it just felt like too much saying over the phone, and I didn't want people to be worried about me, and I wanted to tell people once it was done, but I couldn't hide it from the people that I saw in real life, that are close to me, obviously. But the rest I just told after it was done. I haven't told my parents yet. I don't think they watch these videos, so that's fine, and I think I will eventually because I would like to write about it. Yeah, I think it's just been a really big learning curve because I think also we have a lot of misconceptions about what an abortion, medical abortion is. So they gave me the choice and I went for a medical abortion because I wanted to do it in my own time. And I think we just think like it's a pill and then you're done, but it's actually a several day long process where you have to, take a first pill that gets you dilated, and then it's literally they create a miscarriage. The second pills create a miscarriage after a few days, and it's very, very, at least for me, it was very, very painful. So I think physically, I just didn't realize that physically it was going to be so hard on me, and obviously mentally it was also very hard. So yeah, I think that's why I've been putting off like publishing this vlog, and I've been just really putting my life on hold, because then after that the month of September was just really hard, which is why there's just very little footage from this month in this vlog. Also because my dad was in a very bad place mentally. He still is, but he's getting better now. So because I spent most of the month at home in the south of France, apart from that weekend that I spent in London with my friend Lauren, and more than a weekend, I spent a whole week here, and this is where I went to get my treatment. By the way, talking about the treatment, a huge thank you to MSI UK, which is the abortion clinic and family planning NGO in the UK, and to Nurse Sam, who is really an angel on earth and helped me and was so kind when I had to go for the checkup and the scan. And yeah, after that, the month of September has been a bit of a blur. Cameron came with me back home, and this is where I took the medication because we were by ourselves. And then, yeah, my parents came back, and it was just, I couldn't really focus on myself because I was focusing on them, because we have to take care of my grandma, who's like at the end of her life. My mom has just retired, so she's also in a bit of a weird mental space. And my dad, who has just been really depressed in the past few months. So it's been a lot of taking care of others and not really taking care of myself in the time that I needed the most, to be compassionate with my own self. So yeah, I kind of forgot myself a bit in September. And it was a really hard month, as I said. But we're on the way up now, I hope. So yeah, I hope you will still enjoy this month. There has still been some really nice activities, especially before I found out all of this. There's my best friend Lauren's engagement party, which was beautiful. And I went away for a weekend with my sister at like a yoga retreat, which was also really fun. And what else is there? Let me have a look. Sorry, it's been so emotional. And yeah, obviously the weekend with Lauren in London, even though like I was not in the best mental headspace because I had just found out that I was pregnant, was still really fun. And yeah, I ended the month at home in the sun. Thankfully, one good thing about being home is that it was really sunny and it was still summer. So that really healed me, I think. So yeah, Thank you for watching, and sorry if this was triggering to anyone. And yeah, for anybody going through this, or yeah, I just know that you're not doing anything wrong and you are prioritizing yourself and your health, because your mental and physical health as well, because I was really not in the state to be able to carry a child. And you're doing what's right for you, and you're not really not doing anything wrong, and it's okay to feel shit afterwards, and it's going to take a really long time, but it will get better. One thing that I forgot to mention, and I think is very important to say, not to turn this into a political statement, but everything is political, is that the past couple of months have made me even more aware and grateful to be a citizen and living in two countries that where women have rights over their own bodies, and where abortion is legal. As our rights are decreasing and receding all over the world, and we are slowly falling into, far-right propaganda, and our rights are even more at risk, more than ever, it's given me a new whiff of energy to fight the good fight, for women all over the world. I had just a glimpse into what it would be like to have to go through a pregnancy and a birth without it being what you want, and having something in your body that is growing and that you don't want. And even if for me it was just a couple of days from the moment I realized it till the day that I terminated it, about a week, it was still very physically and emotionally draining and not pleasant. And I think if I didn't have that option, it would have literally been torture. And so I feel for all the women around the world who do not have that choice. And yeah, again, like, now's the time more than ever to be fighting for our rights. And so in a way, I'm not saying everything happens for a reason. This is like toxic positivity, but it has definitely made me more appreciative of my rights, and it has given me even more empathy, I think. Not that I lacked any empathy. Sometimes I think it's actually one of my issues. Well, it's not an issue in life, but I am a bit oversensitive towards a lot of things. But yeah, this has made me even more conscious about that whole subject.
Et on va faire ça encore quelques fois. Toute l'inspiration pour creuser le dos. Alors je vais venir voir parce que je sais que j'ai un mauvais élève là-dessus. On creuse comme ça et on enroule comme ça.
One of the only exhibitions I went to this month was an exhibition in Monaco on cacti, and I really loved it. There were so many paintings of cacti, actual cacti, and just artwork around cacti, and it was just different and lovely and well done. And it was in a little villa, which is always really, I love small scale museums. And yeah, it was really nice. I think it's until the end of the year, so if anyone's around, please go and see it. And then it was my friend Lauren's engagement party, and we had to wear blue and yellow, which I did. As you can see, I was very on theme. It was kind of Dolce Vita themed, which was really incredible. The whole decoration was incredible. Her parents, her and her fiancé did so much work. Look how beautiful it looks. Yeah, and look how beautiful she looks. She was really gorgeous, and it was a great night, but I wasn't feeling very well, so I left before dessert, which I'm really sorry about if you hear this. But we still had a lovely dinner. Yeah, she's fixing her hair, but nothing needs fixing because she's gorgeous. And yeah, I'm really glad that I was part of her night. In September, due to the circumstances, I really didn't have any will to read, to do much or to read, so I only read one book. This actually, I didn't buy it myself. It's a book that my mom had on her nightside table. How do you say it? You know what I mean. And very often I randomly pick books from her different piles around the house. And usually they're quite good, even though we have completely different taste in literature. She loves historical novel or anything that has to do with history. This one, I don't know why she chose it, because I didn't like it. I did not enjoy it. It's called Vivre, Tout by Jeanne Benameur. And unfortunately as well, I didn't read the fourth cover before picking it up. And it just wasn't the right book for the circumstances, because it's kind of like a modern reenactment of the life of Mary, the mother of Jesus. So it talks a lot about motherhood, losing a child in a way, obviously not in the same way as, but you know what I mean, like losing a child to something. And one thing that was nice was that it talked a lot about like the natural world, so the sea, and just nature in general, and it was very descriptive in that sense, and that was nice. But the whole like modern Mary, it was very slow and just boring, and just not the right kind of book for me at that time. So that's it, nothing interesting this month. My sister, who is a yoga teacher, took me with her to a weekend yoga festival, and we did some sound baths. Even though the whole thing was a bit woo-woo, I still had a really good time with her. I just got back to my flat in London, and I got the cutest little package. It's a book stamp. Look. Okay, I did it a bit too harsh, but isn't it so cute? I think it's from one of my friends, my friend Margot from school, because we always send each other a little something for our birthday. It's so sweet. I've always wanted one as well. A little cup of tea and some little plants. I tried it on this book, but I'm gonna do all of them now. I love the texture. Oh, I'm gonna ask her if it's from her, but I'm pretty sure. So thank you, Margot.
Ils se font des câlins. Oh non, c'est mignon.
Pas fait de bisous encore?
Je crois pas, peut-être.
En fait, j'arrive pas à réaliser que c'est toi en face de moi et... Mais je pense que je sais à qui il a parlé.
Comment tu sais?
Ben je sais pas, elle a dit salut.
Oui, mais tu sais pas parce que...
Bah elle a dit salut.
Non, je pense que...
Mais là, il a dit entre notre date d'hier et d'aujourd'hui. Donc, il y a moins que ce soit l'autre là.
Sarah?
La connasse, ouais.
À qui il dit ciao?
Ouais.
Bah j'espère.
Je peux pas faire cette demande.
Allez, prions au Seigneur qu'il la jappe là, l'autre.
J'ai partagé beaucoup de choses avec toi et inversement, je pense. Il y a des liens qui se sont tissés. Mais entre notre rendez-vous d'hier et aujourd'hui, il y a une chose qui est arrivée et je suis pas fier de m'être prononcé envers toi. Mais aujourd'hui, bien je peux plus te faire cette demande.
Oh, chef. Allez, vas-y, dans ta gueule. Oh, elle a bien mérité là.
Je trouve que c'est une bonne chose parce que de toute façon, moi j'ai besoin d'être avec quelqu'un qui prend des décisions et qui s'y tient.
Ouais.
Et effectivement, je pense que si au final tu choisis quelqu'un qui est absolument mon opposé, je pense qu'effectivement, on ne peut pas se convenir.
Bah, ton opposé, c'est quelqu'un de gentil,
Donc
hein,
c'est
parce
très
que
bien.
le slut shaming là, ciao.
Je comprends. On te fait plus penser ça.
Je te souhaite plein de bonnes choses. Et ne m'aime pas dans quelques jours parce que évidemment que je te répondrai pas. Et je pense que t'en auras envie.
D'accord.
Bon, quand il aura vu ta vieille gueule là, je vais d'accord.
Un homme qui change d'avis en 2 heures, mais t'imagines? Ça va être quoi la suite dans la vie? Moi j'ai besoin d'un bonhomme. Si tu tiens pas tes paroles, si t'arrives pas à avoir le diamant qui est en face, évidemment que t'es pas pour moi. Non, non, franchement, non merci.
Ah, j'ai trouvé des sur Twitter pour que je me
J'ai
dise.
cru, j'ai vu, je veux plus. Donc c'est très bien.
C'est lui qui se moque de toi.
Ah, elle est là, elle m'a. Elle
Ah, mais bien.
Elle m'a.
Ah, ça va.
Ouais, c'est chouette, hein.
As you could see, I'm working on a little secret project in the studio. And so we did that, we recorded something, and then we went for lunch, which was really nice in Shoreditch. And then we just spent the weekend really walking around. We went to East London, walked along the canal, had a really lovely coffee in a Japanese cafe called Tocomoco. If you don't know it, it's on the canal, which makes it very lovely, and they also do food, I think, with my friend Jess. And yeah, we went to Angel, we just walked around really. And then we went to the theater to see a really great show, really good exposure at the Soho Theatre. It was a one-woman show by Megan Prescott, who was in Skins, if you remember the TV show. And it's about her life as like a teenage star, and how like after the show was done, her fame was done as well, and how it's really hard to find more work, and really mentally draining, and how she eventually got into sex work, and now she has a really great NGO defending sex workers' rights. If you want to look that up, called National Ugly Mugs, and they do really great work. And then yeah, we went for a walk in Southwark Park, and that was the end of the weekend. And this was my gynecology checkup when I came back to France. And the waiting room is just really freaky. So yeah, I wanted to show you that. And then Cam and I spent some time in the south of France. The weather was still really good, so we went to the beach most days. And it was the perfect way for me to be healed by the sea, the sun, the sky. And I'm really grateful that this is where I'm from. Thank you so much for watching this month. Means a lot to me. I hope it wasn't too triggering to anyone, and I'll see you next month. Lots of love.